Okay, so today's kind of sunny out there, so I wanted to work on my fender, but it's so cold out, which makes it really hard to paint outside. So I brought my fender in, let it sit in the house overnight because it takes a long time for the metal to kind of warm up, and you know, unless I used like a heat gun or something. So it's a little bit warmer than it was. It was like icy cold because I was storing it out in a shed. Both sides are painted. So my game plan right now is I'm gonna clean this side up with just some, some glass cleaner or something. Actually, probably just use water and a lint-free cloth. Just wipe it down, and then I gotta shake up my can of clear coat. The problem is it's I can't figure out. A lot of people say there's a ball in there, and some people say there's not a ball. And if there's a ball in there, I cannot hear it rattle around, so it might be bad. And so, but we'll see. So hopefully it works out. So I'm just gonna clean this off. I gotta do it quick. That's why I'm not filming it outside, because it's gonna get cold, and I just want to shoot it and get it done quickly. So I'm gonna clean this off, shake up the can, then haul the operation outside, and then we'll pick it up from there. So all I'm gonna do now is just clean off the inside of this, get all the dust off of it. Alright, so I just used some water and a spray bottle and some lint-free cloth. Wipe it down. This is where a tack cloth would come in good, because you get done wiping it and dust just naturally floats back on it. Anyways, I wanted to mention the reason why I'm washing it or cleaning it inside is because outside it's so cold it would take too long for the water to evaporate off. Even though you wipe it down, there's still residue on there and you don't want any. And it's a little bit nicer if it was warmer. I might use maybe a glass cleaner. You got to use a really light cleaner because you don't want to damage the paint, but it is nice to use some kind of cleaner to get fingerprint oil off there, because that'll help. But since this is on the inside, I'm just going to do it with water and let it evaporate off, and then we'll move the operation outside. Okay, so I just shot it real quick, like I said, because it's so cold out. Unfortunately, apparently this one of two things happened. Either, I know I was reading on the can, and I believe the clear that I'm using is an acrylic, and probably this base coat is an enamel, and so it's interacting and it's getting crinkly things, which would not be a good deal if this was the outside. That would be a showstopper. But it is on the inside, and this paint is more meant for protection, just to stop corrosion. And it is kind of I'm glad I didn't choose to do this on the outside. I used the same paint on the outside, but also what it also could be going is, again, it's so cold that base coat may have not, even though I've had it out here a long time, it may not have flashed off and fully cured. So that could be what's going on, because it's not like doing it all over. It is doing it pretty bad right there and really bad right there, but actually here it's not. So it could be a matter of the paint, even though it looked hard, it wasn't hard enough because of the it being so cold. So that's one of the downsides of trying to paint in the winter. And you want to put it on really thick. I could have probably, if I would have known it was like this, I would have put it on in thin layers, let it flash off. But usually when you do clear, it's not like base coat. It's not. You actually want clear to be kind of like run. That's why it's better to paint vertical, and you almost run the clear. That's that thick that you want it on there, because it is a protective cover, and it's it doesn't go on thin like it would seem. If you put it on thin, it'll look really weird. One nice thing is it does look like it's drying off pretty quick. I don't know if that's because it's hitting the sun there, but today's about the best day being to paint when it's cold, because even though it's so cold out, the air is very crisp, so you'll actually get a little bit of evaporation because of the crispness of the air, if that makes sense. If it was humid out and cold, you'd never get this stuff to evaporate off. Anyway, so that's pretty much done on this side, and I think I haven't decided what I'm going to do on the other side. I might have somebody paint the whole car, but I just wanted to swap this fender out. So this might be done for this part of the painting. We'll see how it goes. I'll just let it sit out here and dry, and and I'll just kind of see how it goes. It's kind of just, it's really too bad it crinkled up like that. Anyhow, I'll pick it up later. I just thought of a third reason, and probably the most likely reason why this happened, is remember I said that can, I couldn't tell if there was a ball in it or not. So the can could have very well been bad, because it is real clear coat, and you have to mix it really well, because they usually have like a hardener, a reducer, and the clear coat all mixed into one. And so that may have been off, and so those have been spots where maybe too much reducer was coming out because it didn't blend in well, and that's most likely what's causing that, because it's not doing it all over. Other places look just fine. So that's most likely was just the can was too old and it just was not a good mix. So that's most likely the cause. And again, if it would have been, yeah, the more I think about it, that's probably what's causing it, because it's not doing it all over. It's only doing it in spots. Anyway, so use a fresh can, don't cheap out. But again, this is in the inside. Most people probably don't even clear the inside. I just want to do it more for durability and protection. Alright, so I'm pretty much done. I got the clear coat on this side. Came out pretty good in spots. Has this crinkly stuff, and I'm almost certain that happened because I was reading online and there was supposed to be a mixer ball inside that can of clear coat I used, and as much I shook it tons and tons and tons, and I could never get a ball to release in there, so it probably was bad clear coat, and it probably just shot too much resin, or got too much of a chemical product into those parts where it kind of crinkled. But you know, most of it looks pretty good though. So I'm done with this side, and the purpose of the clear coat was just to protect it from scratches and stuff. And so all I got left to do is I'm going to clean this side, and then I think what I'm going to do is just see if I get a color of the can of the color of I got that I'm going to use. I think I got one left, and just go around the edges, and that's just so that when I put it on there, when I have the whole car done, it'll blend in. This actually came out pretty good for what it is. It looks dirty. I don't know if you've seen that on camera. It's so cold out, if I touch it, it's more the warmth of my fingerprint showing up on the part. It actually really came out really good. There's not hardly any orange peeling in that at all. If you want perfection on something like this, you'd wet sand it. This looks so good you could probably go straight for like a 1500 grit and probably be done with it. And then we'd have to put a light mist over that. We could just probably just polish this out. This way it came out really good, I'm surprised. But anyways, so that's what I'm going to do, is just go around the edges with the color I'm going to end up using. And I'm not going to put any clear coat on this side. And then, you know what I should do? Well, I don't have any clear coat. I should do the clear coat around the edges. That would be the smart thing to do. In fact, I might do that. That's probably what I'm going to do. So I'll paint the edges of this the color that I want, and then shoot, this doesn't, one can would probably be enough. Maybe I think I'm going to get a new can of clear coat and throw it over this, and then I'll put it on the car and call it done.